Hey, John here, and this is your Tuesday Blues, where every week we come together with a new guitar lesson to help you play better blues. That's what it's all about, and that's what we're going to get into today, and we're going to talk about these things. I play acoustic blues mostly with my bare fingers, but there are times when I reach for my thumb pick. There's a certain sound that you can get that you just can't get with bare fingers, and we're going to get into that with some examples as we cover a 12-bar blues in today's lesson. But first, you may have noticed that this one looks a little bit different than your traditional thumb pick. It's a design by today's sponsor, Black Mountain Picks, and they have a really cool take on the thumb pick design. It's got a hinge here and this movable strap, which makes this kind of self-adjusting, and it fits just right out of the box. It feels really comfortable, the most comfortable one out of the box that I've ever played, really. And it's attached to basically a flat pick, so you can kind of move seamlessly from playing and strumming as you would with a flat pick into doing some thumb picking. So if you're interested in getting into thumb picking, Travis picking, that kind of stuff, then this may be the best way to dip your toe in and get started. If you want to give one a try, check out the link in the description. And now we're going to take a look at that 12-bar blues tune that showcases some of these sounds that you can really only get by playing with a thumb pick. Here's the first 4 bars of our 12-bar study. This really is that classic Travis picking pattern, but we're playing it with an E7 chord here. And you want to make sure that you know where your root is at all times. There's the root on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then we're building from strings 3, 2, and 1, fret 4, 3, and 4, right? But I'm also going to catch the 2nd fret on the 5th string. We're going to use that in the bass line, which is basically playing on the quarter note counts, that pulse, that 1, 2, 3, 4. And the notes are the 6th string, 4th string, 5th string, 4th string. So we just alternate through the measure like that. And now this sounds a bit too ringy. What we want to do when we get to that 4th string is push through, catch the 3rd string as well, and choke it out, make it really choppy. Alright, and I've also got a palm mute happening on the 6th string. And it's lightly on the 5th string as well, but not really on strings 4 and 3. We want that to be really punchy. And then what we're going to do on the and of 3 to kind of complete a basic Travis picking pattern here is pluck the top 2 strings. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Notice how we choke down on beat 4. Those strings, the top 2, don't ring. All right, so that's the basic idea that we're working with to set us up in this group. Again, this is something that really a thumb pick is going to do a lot of good for you and for the sound, the attack that we're looking for. You can do this with a bare thumb, but to me, the thumb pick helps add the punch that we're really looking for here. So we're going to add in measure 2 a little bit of a melody. Here's what that sounds like. All right, so we're just picking through strings 1 and then 2, back to the bass, and then I'm reaching up to the A note before continuing the bass line, and then pulling off from the the G sharp down to the F sharp there. So we've got then we're going to continue with our rhythm pattern for bar 3. And then a different melody for bar 4. Alright, so we start out pinching and then drop down to the G sharp, so that's the A, and then the G sharp, and then pick up to expose under a bar the F sharp, and then finally back to the bass, and then we want to play that D note on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string to get that cool E7 vibe happening as we're getting ready to change chords. We're building just a little bit of tension there. So these 4 bars played slowly sound like this. All right, let's keep going and have a look at a pretty cool part over the A chord. And really we're going to introduce the 6 above the octave, which gives us an A7 with an added 13th. It's a mouthful, but it's really just 3 tones that we're playing on the fretboard. Let's give it a listen, and I'll come back and tell you how to get it down. All right, now if you just close your eyes and listen to those couple measures, it probably doesn't sound all that complicated, but when you try to get this down on the fretboard, it can be challenging. So if you find it tough, then definitely go slowly here. Focus on good technique, good clear notes, and getting things to fall correctly in time, and then slowly build up some speed. Do it gradually. This can be a part of this little composition where you can work and really build up some skills. The first skill that we're going to call upon is being able to use the little finger, because we're starting this for the beat, and our last chord was here, this E7, and we're going to slide in. If you can manage with a different finger, great, but for me, I want to pull my little finger and start this slide in up to the 7th fret with my little finger, and then I want to get my A7 tones involved here. This is the G note on the 4th string, and then the C sharp on the 3rd string, that's 5th fret, 6th fret, and then here that F sharp. It's a cool chord sound. We've really got an A7 add 13. If that doesn't matter to you, just put your fingers right here, but it's a cool sounding chord. And we're going to play with that note and flatten out and catch the E on the 2nd string as well. So here's the part, and I'll play it through slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that last beat where I slid up again, that is actually the top of the next measure, but I want to hear myself complete the phrase there, and I think that'll help you know where we're going for the chord change. So a couple of things. Our bass line is still the Travis picking pattern, but we're starting on the 5th string. So we really just kind of reverse the low bass notes. Here we go, 5th string, then the chick, then the 6th string, chick. All right, and that chick is still happening on the same 2 strings, just with a different chord held down. All right, hang with me. We've got a really super cool flashy lick coming where this sort of flat pick form factor of a thumb pick really shines. Is coming up, but we got a couple of measures to get through in E here. We've climbed the fretboard, and we're going to fret this shape of an E7 coming from right here, but we really can just play strings 4 and 2 at the 9th fret, and then the 7th fret on top that 1st string. All right, so we're sliding in on top of the B. Then we're going to pinch with the B, so a couple of B's there, so that's a B in the bass, and our bass, by the way, is just going to alternate between 6th string, 4th string. We just kind of moved through the top melody notes there. And now what we're going to do is start a little bit of a lick. All right, again, everything sounds simple. We've just got these bright, crystal clear melody notes on top. But this is pretty tricky, where we slide with that little finger from the 10th fret down to the 9th fret and then pull off. And then what we're going to do is hit the bass and then back to pull off from 9 to 7 on the 2nd string, right? So we're playing with some pretty cool tones here around this E7 chord shape, right? So here's what we're going to do to complete the phrase, complete the thought. Keep in mind, if you're a premium member, then you've got access to the tab files you can download and follow along with this. I know there's a lot of notes in here, but now we've reached the flashy part. We've reached that blazing lick at the end, and what I'm going to do is basically omit all of the bass picking, and I'm just going to use this as a flat pick. So you're going to see me reach and just kind of grab it and hold it as I would a flat pick. Just pinch it in between my thumb and my index finger. It's right there, it's ready, it's super comfortable to do because of the shape of this thing. So what we're going to do after this pull off on the second string followed by the open first string, we're going to start this lick. All right, once more, I'll play through that slowly, and keep in mind that there is a slow down feature on YouTube. Just click that little gear icon, and if you need to go through this note by note, then hit that, slow it way down, and play it back. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, pretty snazzy little lick there, and especially when you get it up to tempo, it can be a bit tricky, but notice that I grabbed the flat pick and I'm playing it as if I were just holding a flat pick and not doing any thumb picking. But this is where, to me, there's some versatility in playing with a thumb pick, especially one like this that's just this familiar shape, because I'm switching completely from playing with the alternating bass and doing all of that thumb picking to just grabbing it and going to town with single notes that I'm picking, and I'm playing for the most part alternating picking. So I'm just doing down, up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now snuck in the top of the next measure there, because after we do this, we're coming up from the A to the B with a better slide than that. And we're going to pick through this little portion of an E7 chord. Then we're going to basically slide into, with the same rhythm, a little A7 shape here at the 9th fret for strings 3 and 1, and then the 8th fret for the 2nd string. Then we're going to start something else that comes in super handy with a thumb pick. We're going to pinch and again hold this thing like a flat pick, because it basically is one, and then we're going to do some strumming with a little E7 on the top 3 strings, then a B7, that same little shape, but now up here at the 11th fret and the 10th fret, and then widen this out for this cool E major chord. Right? Just punch it, and then we're going to punch the open 6th and 1st string. You can strum through the whole chord. It doesn't really matter at that point, but we're kind of building to this big E chord moment. All right, so here's what's happening with the lick and that sort of climb in the last couple of measures. Kind of an interesting turnaround, not your everyday classic blues kind of thing happening there. We want to have some fun, and I wanted to show you the versatility of this pick, because we've switched from picking this, these single notes out like that to just full-on strumming on the top 3 strings. All right, now I'm going to play this whole thing, all 12 bars through, slowly for you. But keep in mind that even though I'm playing it through at a slow pace, that doesn't mean that's the right tempo for you. So I want you to find that and practice at a tempo that makes sense for you to maintain good technique and good timing all the way through, and then slowly ratchet up the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Once again, check out these Black Mountain picks at the link in the description. Thanks to Cole and Black Mountain Picks for sponsoring this video. And if you'd like to keep learning, just click or tap over here. And if you would, consider subscribing. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and I'd like for you to be in the first 100K club. So hit subscribe and come on back next Tuesday for another Acoustic Blues lesson. Until then, practice smart and play on.